Every game begins the same way.
Before we dive into the hottest news from Birdland, I have to ask, if you're new here, or if you already follow the channel but haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button right now. Hit that bell to make sure you don't miss any in-depth analysis and the exclusive information you only find here. I bring you the very latest, with the seriousness and detail that you, an O's fan, deserve. Exclusive. I'm bringing you detailed information on one of the hottest topics this Orioles offseason, the situation with Ryan Mountcastle. The dilemma is real, and the recent comments from interim manager Tony Mansolino add a crucial layer of context and emotion to this strategic decision. Mansolino was direct and revealing, and it's from his words that we can map out the scenario for 2026. Mountcastle, our number 6, is a piece that is becoming an enigma in the Orioles equation. It's undeniable that 2025 was a roller coaster campaign, marked by difficulties in production and, unfortunately, time lost due to injuries. Let's look at the numbers with the necessary coldness. The OPS of 0.661 last season was well below his career OPS of 0.752. For a player with Mounty's offensive upside, and who is projected to become an unrestricted free agent after 2026, this drop in performance, combined with contract uncertainty, naturally places his name in all trade speculations. What makes this situation particularly delicate is Mountcastle's track record of success and what he represents in the clubhouse. Tony Mansolino, the interim manager, made no secret of his admiration. In a passage I obtained, coming from sources close to the reporting team, Mansolino said, "He's going to be one of my favorite players I've ever worked with for a multitude of reasons." This is not just a personal statement, Birdland. It reflects the intangible value Mountcastle has in the clubhouse, a locker room that values dedication and resilience. Mansolino highlighted a fundamental technical point in the player's evolution, something the front office needs to ponder with extreme care. In terms of growth, I think he's gone from a non-position player to a frontline first baseman in this league. That's tangible defensive progress, and it cannot be ignored, especially in a league where first base defense is often underrated. Despite the defensive growth, the focus remains on his offensive production, which ironically, Mansolino still views with optimism. I think he's a guy that has not tapped into his immense offensive potential yet. I think we've seen some glimpses of it. My D, this is the heart of the dilemma for the front office. Trade Mountcastle now, at what could be considered a low point in his recent trajectory, risking receiving a return lower than his potential value, or keep him, hoping he rediscovers his peak production, the one that gave us a glimpse with an OPS of 0.879 in 2021, and, potentially, losing him for free after next season. The risk is high, but the reward of a consistent Mounty is a piece that raises the team's offensive ceiling. Mansolino's brutal honesty in commenting on the nature of the sport. There are no guarantees in this sport for any of us, whether you're a coach or a player, underscores the reality of a relentless baseball market. He concluded with a personal and professional appeal. "I hope Mounty finds a home. I hope it's here. If not, I hope it's somewhere else." He's been an essential part of this organization, becoming a winning organization, and getting through the tough years. The front office now has to balance the heart of the clubhouse with the head of the business. Mountcastle is a valuable asset, either for 2026 production or as trade bait to fill a critical gap, perhaps in the starting rotation or the bullpen, areas that demand immediate attention. The recent trend, following a drop in production, is for the front office to seek to maximize value before he approaches free agency. But Mansolino's strong statement could tip the scales. My analysis is that, if the return is not significant, bringing in a proven caliber pitcher, the O's might prefer to keep Mounty for the next season, betting on his recovery, as first base depth is not as vast as the middle infield. Stay tuned, because the decision on Mountcastle will be one of the most impactful moves of our offseason. While the Mountcastle dilemma dominates the headlines, the Orioles front office, true to form, made a quiet but important move for building depth, signing former Cincinnati Reds infielder Jose Barrero to a minor league contract for 2026, with an invitation to Major League spring training. This type of move is an off-season classic, aiming to add talent with unrealized potential while minimizing risk. It's a volume strategy that can yield a diamond in the rough. Barrero, at 27 years old, represents exactly that. He was a top 5 prospect in the Reds organization in 2020, which attests to the raw ability he possesses. However, his transition to the Major League has been, to say the least, challenging. His MLB numbers, with averages of 186, 2.42, 255 in 161 games for the Reds from 2020 to 2023, and the recent stint with the Cardinals in 2025, where he recorded 138, 194, 276 in 22 games, demonstrate a significant struggle to convert minor league potential into major league production. The key information is his performance in the minor leagues, where he always played well, which indicates that the talent is still there, waiting for the right adjustment or the correct environment to flourish. This acquisition, while not the big name the fans expect, is a reflection of the O's analytics philosophy: invest in athletic talent at a low cost. Barrero brings defensive versatility in the infield, a quality that is always valued, and represents a bet on a technical or mental adjustment that our player development system can provide. The importance of this signing lies in roster depth. In a long and grueling season, having options in AAA with MLB experience, even if limited, is crucial for dealing with injuries, something that affected Mountcastle and others in 2025. The front office is intelligently stocking the shelves with players who have a higher skill ceiling than is common for minor league signings. If Barrero can, in spring training or during the year in Norfolk, make adjustments to his plate approach, he could become a valuable utility player coming off the bench. It's a move that doesn't impact the payroll, nor does it affect the main roster now, but which can have an unexpected and significant return. The acquisition of a former top prospect with contact difficulties, like Barrero, suggests that the O's coaching staff believes it can refine his mechanics or pitch selection. It's a subtle move, but one that shows the diligence of the front office in scouring the market for undervalued talent. This type of signing should be seen as a step in the right direction for roster management. While focusing on the big moves, like the Mountcastle dilemma, the small decisions ensure that the foundation and depth of the organization remain solid. Let's return to the central point: Ryan Mountcastle's productivity. It's undeniable that 2025 was a year of underperformance for several team mainstays. The names of Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, and Jackson Holliday were mentioned, and it's essential to put Mountcastle's situation into the broader context of the offensive challenge the team faced. Although Henderson and Rutschman had drops in production, especially relative to high expectations, Mountcastle's, given his proximity to free agency, resonates more strongly. The OPS of 0.661 is nearly 12% below his career average, and it's a number that, for a slugger occupying first base DH, needs to be dramatically improved. What concerns me, and should concern all birds, is the combination of production drop with the injury history. Mountcastle missed crucial time due to health issues, which inevitably affects consistency. Consistency at the plate is key to long-term success, and the interruptions prevented Mounty from building the rhythm that led him to 33 home runs in 2021. This is the reason why trade speculations gain momentum. From an asset management perspective, the front office has to ask itself, what is the probability of Mountcastle fully recovering, and what is the risk of losing him for free? Modern baseball values predictable production more than potential, and Mountcastle's recent production has been less predictable. Tony Mansolino's analysis of Mountcastle's immense, untapped offensive potential is, therefore, the emotional and technical counterpoint to the coldness of the numbers. A league scout confided to me that Mountcastle's reaction time to high-zone fastballs was a particular problem in 2025, something opponents exploited consistently. If our development team can solve this technical adjustment and he stays healthy, the potential for 30-plus home runs and an OPS above 0.800 is not a mirage. This potential is what makes him a valuable asset. Even at a low point, the impact of the decision to keep or trade Mountcastle is huge for the fans. He is a clubhouse favorite and one of the players who got through the tough years, as Mansolino rightly recalled. His departure would be an emotional blow, but if it results in the arrival of a top-tier pitcher who solidifies our rotation for a World Series run, the trade-off may be justified. The front office has to analyze the depth it has. With Heston Kjerstad emerging and the flexibility of Ryan O'Hearn, there are options at first base and DH. However, Mounty is the best pure power hitter among them when he is at his peak. The Barrero move, although small, shows that the front office is thinking about filling all depth gaps. The Mountcastle decision will be an immediate and strategic impact move that will define the face of 2026. The decision ultimately will revolve around the market return. If we can get an all-star caliber pitcher, he's gone. If not, we'll bet on a recovery in 2026. 503 words. In summary, Birdland, the Ryan Mountcastle situation is the point of greatest strategic tension this offseason. Tony Mansolino's comments reinforce the human connection and the player's untapped technical potential, but the cold reality of his contract, free agent after 2026, and the need to maximize assets after a season of underperformance, OPS of 0.661, put the front office in a bind. Bet on a recovery or seek an immediate return in a trade? The historically analytical front office's tendency suggests that a robust return, especially an established arm for the rotation, may be the deciding factor. However, the weight of the clubhouse, evident in Mansolino's words, cannot be ignored. The minor move of signing Jose Barrero demonstrates that the organization continues to build depth, a smart, low-risk move, contrasting with the high risk of the decision on Mounty. Now I want to hear from you, O's fan. Given the 2025 numbers and Mansolino's words of support, do you think the Orioles should trade Ryan Mountcastle this offseason for an elite pitcher? Or should they keep him and bet on his full recovery in 2026 for a World Series run? Leave your opinion and your arguments in the comments below. I want to see the debate fired up. To get access to these exclusive analyses and all the latest Orioles news with the depth and reliability of John Heyman, your channel is Orioles Fan Central. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with all your friends in Birdland. The next news might be the biggest of the offseason. I'm counting on you to keep Birdland always well informed.